If you're like us, you absolutely loved Waking the Dragons when it first landed on screens years ago. The legendary dragons, the roaming adventures of our protagonists, Yami Yugi losing a duel? Anyway, there's a lot to love about this season, and even though we've gotten a lot of cards from Waking the Dragons in the TCG, there's still a lot of cards that are missing from the game. Like the entire armor archetype, which is a lot, really a lot. So just putting those 17 cards aside, let's look at 10 Waking Dragons cards that we want printed in the TCG. Number 10, Harpy Lady Sparrow Formation. Who doesn't love Harpy support? This awesome archetype that my embrace has gotten plenty of new cards over the years, including Harpy Lady Phoenix Formation. What we haven't gotten, sadly, is Sparrow Formation, the trap counterpart to Phoenix Formation. This nifty card can only be activated when you control 2 or more Harpy Ladies. It lets you reduce the damage you take from an opponent's monster to 0. So, a Waboku with conditions isn't the sexiest option, but it's really a shame we didn't get this along with Phoenix Formation. Alright Blue, take the next one.
Number 9, Charm of Lamentation. We saw this card played when Kaiba traveled back to Duelist Kingdom to take on Maximilian Pegasus, or so he thought. The duelist Kaiba actually faced was Alistair, disguised as Pegasus. But Alistair was prepared to play Pegasus' Toon deck since Toons couldn't be destroyed by battle in the anime, they're even harder to erase. So enter Charm of Lamentation. This continuous spell card let Kaiba draw a card every time a monster of his attacked an opponent's monster, and that monster survived the combat. What a great card for taking on those Toons. Thanks to Charm of Lamentation, Kaiba drew a Winged Beat of Giant Dragon, which was his answer for Toon World. This is definitely a cool card that would really help out our Kaiba Waking the Dragons deck.
Number 8, Gorlag. Speaking of that duel with Kaiba, when Alistair's Toons let him down, he turned to this Fiery Fiend, which is such a killer card, in more ways than one. Every time you defeat an opponent's monster in battle, you could summon that monster to your field and Gorlag would get stronger. That's because he gained 500 attack for each face-up monster on the field. What if the monster he destroys isn't a fire monster? That's no problem, because this guy brings the monsters it destroys back as fire monsters, just with their effects negated. Now, with 1000 attack to start, destroying monsters isn't the easiest for Gorlag, but he does get 500 attack off the jump from himself since he is a fire monster. Alistair also made sure he had the Sealed War Calico's face up on the field already when he summoned Gorlag, so it came out swinging at 2000 attack. The one downside to Gorlag is when it leaves the field, all the monsters summoned by its effect are destroyed. You can't have everything, right?
Number 7, Celebration of Creation. This was a very powerful trap card that came in clutch for Joey in his duel against Rex. Rex special summoned Red Eye's Black Dragon to Joey's field and would have won the duel when Tyrant Dragon attacked it. But since a monster was special summoned, Celebration of Creation ended Rex's turn. This would be a great card to add to Joey's Waking the Dragons deck, and it could be a very strong effect if the card was printed in the game today as is. We're thinking its effect might require some of that usual Konami tweaking we see so often.
Number 6, Jurassic Heart. Rex and Weevil were nothing this season if not annoying thorns in the side of our heroes. But it is fun to see new cards from these B-list characters, like Chaetoptera and Hornsaurus, which we got in the TCG recently. So, if you love Rex Raptor, or just love some dinos, you probably wouldn't mind getting your hands on Jurassic Heart. This fun trap let Rex negate the activation and the effect of a trap card that targeted his dino and destroy that card. The perfect counter to Joey's Magical Arm Shield when you're in a pinch. And if you're enjoying reminiscing about Waking the Dragons, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when we're dropping another video.
Number 5, Orichalcos Cutora. Surely you expect an Orichalcos card to be on here. While Darts' Orichalcos deck is one of the showstoppers of Waking the Dragons, we've only gotten a handful of his cards, and they've been extremely disappointing compared to their anime counterparts. While there's plenty of great monsters we'd love to have in the TCG, Orichalcos Cutora would be a great start. Cutora can only be special summoned from your hand by paying 500 life points. While on the field, all battle damage you take from battles with your monsters is reduced to 0. In the duel against Yugi and Kaiba, YuGiOh was able to stay protected in Darts' back row of monsters thanks to the Seal of Orichalcos, so it survived long enough to prevent over 15,000 damage to Darts. And the piece de resistance? When it's destroyed, you can special summon Orichalcos Shuneros. Given that we already have Shuneros in the card game, getting this card would make it easier for us to actually play it. Here's hoping.
Number 4, Air Fortress Ziggurat and Sky Union. Here's Alistair's big bad boss monster that gave Kaiba trouble when they met for the second time. And we can't forget the card to summon it as a little bonus, because of course we'd want to summon it. Ziggurat can only be summoned from your deck by using Sky Union to tribute 3 monsters, so it's not easy to bring out, but boy is it worth it. Air Fortress Ziggurat has a whopping 2500 attack and is unaffected by the effects of your opponent's spell and trap cards. Even in today's fast-paced game, that's a pretty decent effect. So, are you hoping to attack over it? Maybe with a Blue Eyes White Dragon? Ziggurat makes that difficult because each end phase it summons a robot token that must be attacked before your opponent can attack any of your other monsters. Now those tokens just have a meager 0 attack and defense, but they do get in the way.
Number 3, Aura Armor. Let's remember back to Joey and Valen's long 4-episode duel. All game, Valen, decked out with his armor cards, was giving Joey fits. Right when Valen's attacking to deal the final blow, Joey activates his own armor card, Aura Armor. This spacesuit, Joey's words, not ours, could negate a direct attack if your life points were 2,000 or less. You had to pay half your life points, but you got some seriously snazzy armor in exchange. Then, it let Joey don the armor, but if his Aura Armor gets destroyed, he loses the duel. On Joey's next turn, he actually sacrifices his armor along with Red Eye's Black Dragon to summon Lord of the Red. That lets him, for reasons we can't quite explain, wear the armor of Lord of the Red.
And number 2, Backup Gardna. Yes, Raphael's key card for enabling his guardian monsters and letting them easily be summoned out. If you're a fan of the channel, or anything like our character deck loving fans, you'll know that not having this card makes it way harder than it should be to bring Raphael's deck to life. Backup Gardna lets you move an equip card that's active on the field to another monster, so he's the perfect candidate to pile equip spells onto so you can summon your guardians. Kind of like in Pokemon when you give Rock Smash, Surf, and Cut to your HM slave. Yes, we've all done it. But that's not his only effect. He also lets you discard 1 card to negate an attack that targets him. Pair that with the fact that he has 2200 defense, and he's a really tough card to get around. It's really a shame he's not in the game already.
And finally, number 1, Orichalcos Deuteros. Waking the Dragon started with showing us one of the most powerful cards we ever see in the original anime, the Seal of Orichalcos, boosting the attack of all of your monsters, letting you play up to 5 additional monsters in the back row while protecting them and being impervious to other cards. Throughout the season, that's all we see until Darts layers Orichalcos Deuteros on top, giving him a major power boost to the seal. Just what our protagonist wanted to see, right? This nasty number still gave you all of the benefits of the original Seal of Orichalcos, but you could also gain 500 life points for each monster you control, an effect that Darts made great use of every turn to push his life points to 20,000. If that wasn't enough, it also let you tribute 1 monster to destroy an opponent's attacking monster. Bonus card alert, if we get Orichalcos Deuteros, Konami might as well go ahead all the way and give us the final layer of this terrible trifecta, Orichalcos Tritos. Tritos takes all the effects of the original Seal and Deuteros, but also, according to Darts, makes the opponent's magic and trap cards useless against him. Yugi and Kaiba can still activate some magic and trap cards, but it seems like ones that targeted Darts' monsters, like Shrink, were a no-go. Combine that with all of the other effects of the previous layers and it's nearly unbeatable. Hopefully you had fun diving into Waking the Dragons with us. There's so many other cards we could have included, so let us know what card you want to see the most that we didn't mention. And if you enjoyed this, make sure to check out these 10 Battle City cards that are missing from the TCG. Thanks!